In San Marcos, California is the site of tonight's Division I San Diego High School Lacrosse Championship game. Hello everyone, along with head coach Tom DeMeo, I'm Mark Keller. Thanks for joining us here for the second of two. If you missed game one, it was the Del Norte Nighthawks becoming Division II champions as they knocked off St. Augustine by the count of 5-3. This is an interesting matchup between these two teams in Division I, and we're going to start off with the number 3 seed, Scripps Ranch, making it to the finals with a losing record of 9-10, something that's very unusual, but somehow Nick Cowden found a way to pull off victories in the playoffs, 10-9 against La Jolla Country Day, and then 12-8 against Mount Carmel, who in 2015 was the Division II champs.
Yeah, you know these guys, they've been up and down all season. The season started off with a lopsided loss to Westview, who ended up being the 1 seed in Division I and losing. But these guys have been up and down, and they're peaking at the right time, had some good playoff wins, and now
CIF supports the highest ideals.
Coming up, we have the playing of our national anthem, and we'll continue with the pregame show in a moment.
School and athletes and do nothing to discredit their opponents. Thank you for your support of Interscholastic Athletics and for Ladies and gentlemen, we want to ask you all now to rise your hats and join us.
Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Crouch score! We've got a one-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the third.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell. You wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
San Marcos High, we're moments away from the start of this match. We briefly spoke about Scripps Ranch. The La Jolla Vikings, they are the defending Division I champions. They beat Del Norte a year ago 11-5 to win CIF, and this year's team 11-10, 1-3 under veteran head coach Tom Dorr. The unusual thing about this ball club, 6 sophomores will be starters, 3 sophomores come off the bench, and they've got 7 players who are out with injury, really taking away any kind of Vikings bench.
yeah, you don't want to be at that point this time of year, but it does happen. And it's a long season out in San Diego, and it's unfortunate that kids on the bench, but he does have his key players playing, so I think they're ready to go.
Let's talk about the players to watch. First for Scripps Ranch, you want to talk about goal scoring. They're led by the attack junior number 1, Joey Tudor, 50 goals, 13 assists, 63 points.
Yeah, Joey's a key guy. He's the guy that La Jolla is going to try to stop, and Joey's been playing lacrosse a long time. He's got good lacrosse IQ, and he's someone they got to reckon with.
We'll also take a look at number 11, Oshin Nadsnaya. He's got a total of 32 goals, 29 assists for 61 points and 36 ground boots.
Yeah, and just talking to Coach Cowden down the field, I think Oshin's going to sit this one out with an injury.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
He is out. Okay, so we got some key injuries on both sides of the field. Thank you for that update, Coach. That's why we got you down on the field before the game. I did find out from the parents of La Jolla, they've got 7 players who are out injured, However, we're going to concentrate on number 2, Tanner Watson. He's their face-off man. Attackman's going to be playing at Arizona State, as well as Finn Walsh, an attackman who's got over a 4.0 GPA, the true student athlete.
Yeah, Tanner's a good face-off guy, and he's their best player, so he'll be a factor.
Falcons in white, Vikings in black. They have the ball, and Ted Bendrick has just arrived, so we know it's an official broadcast. The man, the myth, the legend, Ted Bendrick. He covers sports from coast to coast here in SoCal. That shot's going to go wide, and possession will be kept in the beginning moments of this game. So, I mean, if you're La Jolla, I mean, having 7 players out injured, and you make it this far, you have to wonder how the kids who maybe normally don't start will respond.
Yeah, and you know, I think both teams have an injury bug, but I do think looking at the two teams, I think the key injuries are to Scripps. And I think La Jolla has what they need to win the game, and I think that's probably how Coach feels.
Caven Walsh takes a shot. Save is made. Good job between the pipes, and possession will be kept. So La Jolla gets the first shot on goal to open up the game. Tyler Cook off to Tanner Watson, kind of their dynamic duo.
Yeah, La Jolla wins the opening face-off clean. I know that's something that Scripps wanted to prevent. They put 2 poles on the face-off, and that's going to be a sign of things to come for the day.
Shot on the way will go wide off the attempt of Owe Wintringer. Attackman, 41 goals on the year. You know they'll always be looking up his number.
Yeah, he's their second leading scorer behind Watson.
Shot, score! That's Finn Walsh. And with 10:45 to go, it's an early 1-0 lead for the La Jolla Vikings. So Walsh, he's got the smarts in the classroom, uses it on the field. Call the replay.
Yeah, he just gets underneath and takes his big body, gets the net, and finishes over the goalie's shoulder. That's a good pure attack dodge goal.
First goal, and we've got a 1-0 game. The officiating crew: Dalton Bray, referee; Ryan Lands, umpire; Matt Pfeffer, field judge; Vince Sully, Vilker, timer; and Matt Smith is your scorekeeper. So let's see what can be done offensively. Shot, score! Oh boy, wasting no time for the Falcons is Stuart Pond. And for Pond, he comes up with a big-time goal, does their Fogo.
Yeah, great ground ball by the long stick off the wing. As I said, they're putting 2 poles out there. Number 10 picks it up, moves it upfield quick, and they get a nice transition goal.
Yeah, he normally doesn't score. As a matter of fact, that's his first goal of the year. What a heck of a time for that to come.
Yeah, it's good shot, overhand, 5-hole, and that's a good way to answer La Jolla.
So 2 goals in 14 seconds. Here come the Vikings. Shot on the way, and that one hits the post. Sometimes that pipe can be your friend. Is that a score? I think it went past the goal line. I think that is a goal. Is it? Yes, it is. I like the fact that they converge to talk. Wintringer with the goal, and the Vikings take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and you're looking at the total opposite of the last game that we called, and these two teams are going to get at it and shoot the ball.
Well, if you also notice early on, let's take a look at the replay here and call it as you see it.
So it looked like it hit that inside triangle, which is like the flat iron at the bottom of the net, and sometimes the refs don't always see that, but they get a 3-man crew here today, and they're right on top of it to make the right call.
Well, the one thing we can see early on is that in this Division I matchup, the pace of play is definitely much quicker than in Division II.
Yeah, they've been much cleaner picking up ground balls. They move the ball upfield quicker. And you can see a little bit of difference between the Division I and Division II level.
Here comes Cook with it. So these teams are meeting for the 3rd time, and they split the first 2 matchups. The first matchup, Scripps Ranch won 14-9, and then the second matchup, it was won by La Jolla 9-7, and each team won on the other team's home field, which is unusual. And now the 3rd time they meet here on the neutral site for all the marbles.
Yeah, and
so there are no secrets.
La Jolla was missing their top defenseman. I think it was Blackburn. in that first game, which explained a little bit lopsided. And the next game, I think, is a little bit closer to where this game should be. This is going to be a close game one way or the other.
Shot and save is made. So for La Jolla, that's Mac Bonebreak, who is their goalie, and they're able to get the clear on the offensive end. They lead 2-1. We have 8:55 to go here in quarter one. Mark Heller, Tom DeMeo with all the action. Tom, I don't know how you do it, working full-time, coaching lacrosse, and the father of 6. I mean, what are the ingredients to your success? I can barely do it with 2.
It definitely keeps me busy, and I like being a father and a coach, and better than I like working.
Absolutely. Well, yeoman's work to you, my friend. Let's see, Vikings, poor pass there. Let's see who picks it up as it's about to hit midfield. Still scrum battle, and coming away with it are the Falcons. Let's see what they can do right here with possession. That's number 23, Ethan Taylor. Look out for him. He can score 15 goals on the year, 21 points, 31 granders. Doesn't have it, kicks it back up top to Josh Gomez. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about what the story is with Matt Weidman. 3 goals on the year, but 2 of them came in the semifinals. He must have been injured for a good part of the year.
Yeah, we didn't play La Jolla this year, so I don't know much about him, but it could be a matchup thing, or maybe he was filling in for someone that was injured. But surely look to him and make something happen today. If he's scoring in the playoffs, that's a good indicator.
Yeah, well, he stepped up, and he also got the start for this one, so he's done something right at the right time of season, and the ball is going to be cleared by La Jolla and Charlie Coy, their starting defender. Good pass to Nate Ryan, and they clear it. Here come the Vikings once again looking for more.
Yeah, good defense by La Jolla there. Doubled the ball, put it on the ground, and moved it upfield quickly.
Let's see what the Vikings can do right here. Up top, it's Tyler Cook, their midi. He's kind of your point man in their offense.
And you can see, look like Scripps. Throughout the year they went through a zone and man defense. Looks like they're playing man today, and that's probably what they're going to stick with. I think they've had success with that late in the season.
Good ball movement, shot on the way, and a nice save is made by Scripps Ranch in between the pipes. So here they come, Justin DeWin, the junior goalie, 183 saves on the season. 6:25 to go here in quarter one.
Justin, he's come along this year. He was a JV goalie last year, and now he's playing goalie in the finals. He's seeing the ball well. You can tell by that save.
Yep, Austin Rust gives way to Mac Bromberg. Some pressure and a flag, so we'll have our first man-up opportunity, and it comes with 6:06 to go here in quarter number one. Your thoughts so far in the first quarter of play, Tom?
Well, I think the tempos, these guys aren't going to be patient. It's not going to be a 1-2 minute offensive set. The tempo's there, and you can see a penalty here. I think that's going to be a key to the game for both teams, who can stay out of the box, because both these teams can score man-up.
Let's see what they do here in this man-up opportunity are the Falcons, who trail it by the count of 2-1, looking for the equalizer. Wade Smith, they give up top. Getting a little sloppy on some of those passes picked up by Joey Tudor. Let's see what Tudor can do. They got to be looking for Tudor. Up top to Smith, loses the handle. A nice check right there. And now looking for the clear is La Jolla, and they'll get it from Aaron Rust. Nice move by number 22.
And offsides.
Shot. Oh, that hits the pipe.
Looks like you have an offsides calling Scripps.
Comes at the 5:09 mark of quarter number one in a 2-1 matchup. I'm really impressed with the way La Jolla moves the ball around on offense. It's really no nonsense.
Yeah, they got some offensive players. I mean, they're a strong team from top to bottom. It starts in net with number 11. They call him Moog. who's a sophomore. He's the brother of Tanner Watson, younger brother. So these guys, they do a good job from the back to the front. But, yeah, they move the ball well.
Both of these teams play in the Western League. That's why they met twice during the regular season. Coronado is undefeated in the league at 4-0. Shot on the way, so they go wide up the attempt by Bone Break.
Yeah, and I got the chance to watch the two Coronado games with La Jolla, and La Jolla was in both those games in the third quarter, and then Coronado pulled away.
Look for Bone Break. He's got 30 goals on the year. There's a shot and score by La Jolla. Coming up with the goal is Wintringer. That's his second of the game, and the Vikings take a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, he's their lefty attackman. A lot of times man up, you're going to see that guy being the finisher, and he comes through with a good overhand bounce shot.
Let's take a look on the TVX video replay.
Yeah, you can see right here, Tanner Watson's looking for him. He throws a skip pass through the passing lane, and that's just a solid man-up goal, and that's a look you want 100% of the time.
You know, La Jolla, very interesting, trying to get information, preparing for this. No rosters, no statistics at Max Preps. I don't remember where I went somewhere to get their roster, but it was from a year ago. It wasn't even the correct roster. And before the game, I got roster and stats from the parents. Thank you very much for the Watsons for doing that. 4:33 to go in the first quarter. It is 3-1 your score. La Jolla looking pretty strong so far.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that about the stats, because all coaches are different. Sometimes we like to, I know at Santa Fe Christian, we don't necessarily publish our stats weekly to our players and our families or online, but we like to keep it tight. And talking to Coach Dewar before the game, they keep their stats on crossover, so they don't really have it public either. So every coach is different, and that sometimes for announcers, we don't have all the info.
Well, now becoming a member of the media, you understand what we go through, don't you?
I do understand the frustration.
Yep, a reminder that you're watching the CIF Lacrosse San Diego Section Lacrosse Finals on TVX Sports. If you're enjoying the action so far, please make sure and give us a thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, we really know the more activity that's taking place, and we like to have our fans engaging with us as they are enjoying watching this game. Now, La Jolla off to the 3-1 start, and you have to give credit. I mean, playing without 7 players who are out injured, including Pat Castellanos, who's out with an ACL. You've also got Bert Austerhout, who's out with a concussion. I mean, they're losing some key guys not on the roster, yet they're off to a really good start. And if you're head coach Tom Dorr, you couldn't be happier.
Yeah, Tom, they're in a good spot right now, and they're moving the ball well. It looks like they're from top to bottom out playing Scripps. And Scripps just needs to get it going.
What do you think Nick Cowden said during that timeout?
Well, I think what Nick's trying to do is here get an offensive set with a good shot. The only shot, really quality shot they've had was in transition. So they're going to try to get something here, maybe get the ball in Joey Tudor's stick and see if he can make something happen.
Oh, Tudor was the hot man in the semifinal victory against Mount Carmel. He tallied 6 times.
Yeah, Joey can be lethal. And he's the type of player that can do it off ball too. He's a well-rounded kid.
Taylor with it behind the cage. 3:43 to go here in quarter 1. It's been mostly all La Jolla. They're up 3-1. Falcons on the march. Shot attempt goes wide and gets scooped up. And let's see if they can pull off the clear. So far, Mogi Watson's done a good job behind the pipes. That's an errant pass, and the Falcons with another offensive opportunity. There's Tudor with it. You always have to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, just offensively, I've seen Scripps play a handful of times this year, and I do think that without their attackman, I think it's O'Sheen, and seeing Trevor Pettis, who's probably their one of their top midfielders and goal scorers, off with an ACL injury on the sideline right now. I think they're trying to find their offensive identity, and Tudor's trying to find some guys to work with.
Yeah, so if you're losing Pettis, you're losing a 48-goal scorer there.
That's right. It's not easy to replace 50 goals when you get into the playoffs.
So both teams missing players. It's just a matter of who can manage to adapt and make the changes on the fly. We have a timeout with 2:27 to go here in quarter number one. It's 3-1. La Jolla leads it over Scripps Ranch. As we take a little bit of their history, we mentioned how the Vikings won the CIF title a year ago, 11-5 over Del Norte. The year before that was another good year. They were 14-5, 9-0 in league. However, guess who they lost to in the semis? They lost to Scripps Ranch, and they lost big by the count of 17-5. So, I mean, there's a true rivalry between these two schools.
Yeah, I mean, the word that one of the coaches used was grudge match, and I think that's how these guys view each other. And that being the case, I mean, 3-1, this game can go any way. It can, a few penalties might go one way or the other, and next thing you know, someone could flip 3 goals the other way. So that's usually how these games go.
So, Coach, now that you've got your off season and you're ready to retool, now being a small program, how many seniors did you have on this year's team?
We graduated 4 seniors,
okay.
Which, you know, we have about 30 kids on our roster, so a pretty small percentage. But those 4 seniors were all 4 of them were all Coastal League.
So who did you lose, and who are you hoping will step up next year?
Well, you know, we lost our face-off guy, Hank Ontiveros, who here last year scored 5 of our 6 goals. And won pretty much every face-off. So he's probably our biggest loss, and he's a captain and a leader. But we have some younger guys looking to step up. We had a freshman put up 40 points this year, and we had another freshman who started for us. So we get some guys, Preston Grobert and Jack Winters, are going to step in and hopefully take Hank's spot.
So it sounds like the future continues to look bright for Santa Fe Christian Lacrosse.
Yeah, we hope to be back here next year.
Shot on the way. It's going to go high and wide off the attempt by Tyler Cook. Possession to be kept. 2:13 to go here in quarter one.
Yeah, you notice Coach Stewart took a timeout there. I think he sees this as a critical possession. You know, they got a 2-goal lead. Be nice to make it a 3-goal lead going into the second quarter. That's why he took that timeout there and get things set.
Little pick action there. Shot on the way, and it's deflected off the attempt by Watson. The attempted clear is thwarted, and once again, the Vikings have it, and Mac Bonebrake. Bonebrake's a guy you got to look out for. He's got 30 goals on the year.
Yeah, and he had the triple overtime game winner against Westview in the previous game. I think it was the semifinals.
Yep, they beat Westview by the count of 8-7.
And that was Mack who scored that goal.
And they beat Grossmont in the opening round 14-3, what would you say in the quarters after the first round bye?
Yeah, I mean, generally, I think most people thought that it would come down to the winner of the Westview La Jolla game would be the one that had the favorite in this game. So Scripps comes into this game a little bit of an underdog. But this is the type of game they want. They want to keep it close for a while.
Number 3 against number 5. Shot on the way, and the save is made. Nice job by Mogi Watson. Let's see if he can get the clear going for the Vikings. Decides to take matters in his own hands.
Yeah, Mogi, he did a good job there, crushing that ball, getting on top of it, possessing it, being able to get out in the clear right now.
That pass up for grabs. He wants to come away with it. It's the Vikings, and it's your long pole and Ryan Blackburn. Do we have a timeout call?
Yeah, looks like La Jolla called that timeout again.
28 seconds to go in the first quarter, and so they've already used a pair of timeouts.
Yeah, you don't mind using them in the first half early if you think it's a critical possession. And like I said in the last possession, you hate to use them too that quick, but you get in that situation, you want an opportunity to go up by 3 here going in, and that can change how Scripps approaches the game in the second quarter, and you always like to have that early lead.
TVX Sports is proud to bring you the best in San Diego and Southern California local sports. If you want to see more live games, if you want to see more game recaps and highlights, give us a like and a click to that subscribe button. That's the only way we know that you guys are enjoying the action and tuning in. We have the Division I Lacrosse Championships here on Championship Saturday here in late May. It was 90 degrees when the first game started. I'm not quite sure where we are temperature-wise right now, but you can feel it in the booth. It's getting a little more comfortable.
Yeah, that certainly, when that first game kicked off, I was down on the field. The turf was burning. So I think as the games go on through the night, it's going to get a little better.
Yep. So right now it looks like my phone's doing a little thinking. It's showing 82 degrees, so a little bit cooler. And I think by the nightcap we should be down to 76. A nice problem to have. And that's why we're here. Mark Keller, Tom DeMeo, thanks for joining us here on Championship Saturday. Del Norte punched their ticket as Division II champions. Here we got a good one early on between Scripps Ranch and the La Jolla Vikings. La Jolla's shot and the beauty of the save made in between the pipes by Scripps Ranch, and Justin DeWin coming up with his second big save of the game. However, once again, Scripps Ranch unable to clear. Trying the old behind-the-back maneuver was Tanner Watson, and you know he's practiced that one a few times.
Yeah, I mean, it was he was running out of an angle there, and so that made sense to take that shot. But I think that's Scripps would like to get the ball up and out of that zone and maybe create some transition. Nice outlet pass by the goalie there, and it just bounced out of Tudor's stick.
And that was a buzzer beater shot, which is why he threw it up that way at the end of one. La Jolla 3, Scripps Ranch 1. Second quarter action coming up in a moment.
Come on, White, let's go. Big quarter. Let's win this quarter right now. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Falcons on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
So Nick Cowden giving his team a pep talk, and he's talking about passing the ball and setting up your teammates, and he said, let's make this our quarter.
Yeah, they haven't found their flow offensively yet, and I feel like La Jolla is a little bit closer to that, but Scripps needs to figure out who their guys are going to be. With those couple key guys in their top 6 injured, they got to find out who the guys are going to be, who's going to score the goals, and it can't all be number one. So I think that's what Coach Cowden is alluding to. They want to win this quarter. And
they've won 4 consecutive games entering today, beat Temecula Valley 17-11, Del Norte 13-6. In the playoffs, La Jolla Country Day 10-9, and against Mount Carmel 12-8. So their offense was clicking in those games. Let's see if they can get it going here. But it's the Vikings that win the faceoff. Kind of whiffing on the shot there was Wittringer. Had a good first quarter with a pair of goals. Now the key is the Nighthawks need to find a way to clear. They have struggled with that so far, and they struggle once again. Ryan Blackburn, you mentioned, did not play in one of those matchups against Scripps Ranch.
Yeah, you got a flag down on the field right now and a slash on Blackburn. It got him across the back. So, Scripps is going to try to get a scoring opportunity here and then potentially go man up.
No call made there, and we'll have the dead ball, and the penalty and the man up will be coming up. And if you remember in game 1, St. Augustine was kind of in control of the game. They caused a penalty for a man up. That led to Del Norte's first goal and kind of turned the match around.
Yeah,
maybe the same thing will happen here.
And both these teams have at times get undisciplined and get penalties, so that could be a big, as I mentioned earlier, that could be a big part of this game. Who executes man up, who's undisciplined, gets more penalties.
Okay, so you definitely have to be looking for Tudor here on the man up situation. Keep in mind they're without O'Sheen and Pettis, who during the course of the year combined for 80 goals. So those are 2 guys who would normally be out there who obviously are not out there today.
Charlie, beat us. Backside, try.
Losing the handle was Tudor. If he would have caught it, would have had a good shot opportunity. It's great having the coaches mic'd on the sidelines because you can really hear what they're saying during the course of play.
Looks like they're trying to get Joey Tudor coming off a screen. And again, that's the second time they threw that pass and it bounced out of Joe's stick.
And man-up opportunity has come to an end. So they're able to kill the penalty, and the game continues with a 3-1 score. Give the Vikings some good credit. I mean, no shot attempts taken on the man-up opportunity.
Yeah, they play good fundamental defense, and you don't want to take a bad shot on the goalie. He can make saves, so sort of smart patience by Scripps, not turning it over there on the man-up and really holding out, trying to get a goal. This is an important possession.
Tudor, you can tell he wants to get a shot off. Look at that. He draws 3 defenders. I mean, the Vikings know that the Falcons understand where their bread is buttered.
Yeah, and that's probably an example of Tudor trying to do a little bit too much, a little frustrated that they only got 1 goal on the board, and I think he's going to come off and regroup.
Both of these teams, both 2-0 on the season on neutral site, so they have fared well, but only one will go to 3-0 on the neutral site this season. The other will obviously drop to 2-1. Attempting the pick play there is John Gomez behind the cage. Gomez. I'll tell you what, those Viking defenders, they stay at home. They do not over-pursue, do they?
Yeah, they're playing good fundamental defense.
Yeah. The pick there by Mogi Watson. It takes a special kind of player to be a goalie, doesn't it?
It does, and it takes a lot of individual training and having good coaching at a young age so you don't get beat up and start flinching. But the kids that love it usually are really good at it.
So now an opportunity here. Finn Walsh with it. He scored the first goal of this game. Has it behind the cage, and now they'll work it around to Tyler Cook. Tyler. Just waiting to get things set here. They give off to Bonebreak. Now behind the cage. A good ball movement off the Wintrinker. Bryant. They swing it left side. La Jolla, to me, as I'm watching this game, they just seem to have more offensive firepower. They have more weapons, more choices to go to.
Yeah, and I think that that's a true statement.
Shot, score! Finn Walsh with his second goal of the game. It comes at the 7:41 mark of quarter 2, and it's 4-1 La Jolla.
Yeah, it's you can see right here it's almost identical goal as the last one. He gets underneath, good inside roll, he executes below goal line extended, and he just has a good finish, bounce shot. That's his second of the game.
And if you're a defender, you just cannot let the attackman slip in there, and he was able to get the opportunity. And so for Walsh, first goal of the game, first goal of the second quarter, and the Vikings lead 4-1. Right now the Vikings seem to be in the driver's seat looking to defend their Division I championship.
Well, actually last year they won the Division II championship, and these guys are kind of they're in a position where they can win a Division II and a Division I back-to-back, which
that would be pretty good.
Just pretty unique.
Flag flies. It's going to be man-up opportunity for La Jolla, so maybe a little bit of frustration kicking in for the Falcons.
30 seconds.
Yeah, and again, I think these teams they got to have success by keeping out of the box, because that could send this game lopsided pretty quick. That was a clear situation where you just pushed him from behind, and that's going to draw a 30-second penalty anytime.
So let's watch Wintrinker as they got the 30-second man up. Shot on the way by Cook will go wide. Possession will be kept with 7:10 to go here in the first half. Just watch their ball movement. I mean, most of the guys on the offense are going to touch it on this possession. Shot, score! And for Walsh, it's the hat trick. Tom, you got to take up your hat and throw it on the field.
I got a few of these. But yeah, that's a good handle by Walsh there. Good man up play. Just turns, doesn't really look, turns and shoots.
Let's take a look on the TVX video
replay. You can see they move the ball left to right. Comes off the crease. Walsh just catches it, turns, squares up, and shoots. Good overhand bounce shot.
Yeah, the hat trick originated in the sport of hockey. When a player has scored 3 goals, to honor him, the fans would throw the hat onto the ice to respect what was just accomplished.
Yeah, never really caught on. The hat never really caught on in lacrosse. Still a hockey thing.
There you go. But I think it's a pretty cool thing. I like that.
Yeah, I've been at the Boston Garden when the hats showered down a few times on some of those guys, Cam Neely and those guys back in the day. So those are some pretty good moments.
Well, I have some good moments from 80 to 83 when my Islanders won 4 consecutive Stanley Cups. Something the Boston Bruins have never done and never will do.
Not many teams have.
Yep. I think of the Montreal Canadiens, the Islanders, the Edmonton Oilers. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we prefer to talk about the Patriots when we talk Boston.
I don't want to talk about that because I'm a lifelong Jets fan. There's nothing to cheer about whatsoever.
I will not argue with that.
Yeah, that's just one of those things. Shot on the way is going to go wide, and possession will be kept. Back when I went to school at Hofstra back in the 80s, that's where the Jets used to practice back in the day. And sports director at WRHG Radio, Hofstra University. We get to cover practices, interview the coaches, the players. I remember one day Derek Gaffney was introduced to a woman by one of the older gentlemen that hosted a weekend show, and he owed him a favor. So after practice one day, he hops in the car with him. They drive him over to the WRHU studio, and I do an exclusive 20-minute interview with Derek Gaffney, which we ran at back-to-back Hofstra football games. The big story the next day was, why did Derek Gaffney leave practice so quickly? The answer, he was talking to me. In case you're wondering about that, 30-something years later. A footnote in sports history.
I didn't read about that one, but
I don't think anyone did. So 5:25 to go here in quarter 2. It's been all La Jolla. They lead 5-1. Good job. Save in between the pipes. Thereby the win. And let's see if the Falcons can get some kind of clear and offensive possession here. And they finally do. That was kind of a low percentage pass there. However, it's scooped up, and they'll keep it. It's Blake Smith.
It was tipped, and it's a good. I mean, with the way they're having trouble generating offense, that's a good look right there. They got to get on the board, and 6-on-6 hasn't worked.
Yep, trailing 5-1. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Boy, La Jolla has just been so steady since this game began. They really have.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe La Jolla. I think they're a steady, consistent team, top to bottom.
Tudor to Gomez. Gomez with it. He wears number 9. Defending him is Austin Rusk. Gomez gets double teamed. Good job defensively by La Jolla. And they come up with the pick in the way of Nate Ryan. Over to the long pole, Blackburn. And always a good idea, give it to the goalie.
Yeah, especially when you have a goalie that can handle it and make good decisions.
Here they come once again looking for more. It's Caven Walsh. Shot and the save made by the win. That's a good one. And the clear for the Falcons. It's Stuart Pond. Pond, he has the only goal of the game, and he's a long pole.
Great opportunity there.
Here comes Pond. Looks like a little extracurricular activity. I'm not sure, was it a timeout called?
I think Scripps called a timeout there with the 17 had the ball.
To me, that was an interesting call. You know, if you have nothing happening, I get the timeout call, but it looks like he was making a drive towards the goal. Why call a timeout there?
You know, it's one of those things where it's you got to play your percentages, and the coach Nick has watched them turn the ball over a whole bunch of times in those situations, and even though he had a goal earlier, it's one of those things that, you know, he just wanted to get them together and try to see if he can orchestrate a goal. But I hear what you're saying. I've called plenty of those timeouts.
Let's hear what the coach has to say.
White, number 7, unnecessary roughness, 1 minute. Because White had the ball, they're going to retain the ball.
What's the deal? What number on White?
So 13 black. 13 black. Cheddar kid.
I saw that.
And 7 Italian.
So we're finding out who's a penalty against Mitch
both
Scott.
1 minute, 5 on 5, 1 minute, full time.
The only thing I'd say.
I think there were penalties on both sides.
Yeah,
it
looks
was,
like-
and we're going to be 5 on 5 for 1 minute.
And White's going to Scripps is going to retain the ball here
Right. So here we go. The penalties
because it was matching.
Yeah, so it was against Pond of Scripps Ranch, and then for La Jolla, it was going against Scott. So those are your matching penalties. Scott, by the way, is going to be playing next year at Colorado, and they've got a good program. I had a chance to broadcast a couple of their MCLA matches in the playoffs. They won the first game in the opening round in triple overtime. That was a real exciting one. And then the next night, they play in single overtime where they got eliminated by Cal in the quarterfinals. But Colorado's always had a history of an excellent MCLA team, and Scott's going to a good program.
Yeah, they do. They have a great MCLA program, and over the years I've sent some kids there, and they do a good job. It's a good
Colorado State
location.
as well, for that matter. So the state of Colorado's got some pretty good MCLA lacrosse. And how about the University of Denver, the first Division I team west of the Mississippi to win the NCAA Division I title? I think that was a great boost for the sport of lacrosse.
Yeah, it was, and they got an excellent program there. Coach Tierney came over there from Princeton. He had a lot of success there, and it's good to have. You don't have many programs west of the Mississippi, so it's good to have one that good.
I'm sure those back Easterners, we know how to play lacrosse out west.
I'm sure if San Diego or USC got a team, you get a lot of kids from Long Island coming out here.
Yeah, I'm sure
It'd be a
that they
pretty
would.
easy sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you want to play? Where it's cold and snowing, or where it's sunny in the 70s? Shot, score! That's exactly what Scripps Ranch needed. It's Josh Gomez with his 18th goal of the year, making it a 5-2 game.
Yeah, it's a perfectly placed shot by Gomez, and it's something that they desperately needed.
Let's take a look on the TVX video replay.
Yeah, you can see here. It's just it's a pretty deep shot, but it's perfectly located. Good technique. You can't make a living on that shot, but certainly they'll take that goal for now.
So you know what? Maybe enjoying that 5-on-5 gave them a little more spacing than they've seen in the 6-on-6 matchup.
Yeah, it does open things up a bit, and that certainly I couldn't really tell if they were in a zone right there or what they were in, but he got his hands free and he put a lot of power on that shot.
The face-off is won by the Vikings. They have a 5-2 lead. Here comes Pat Ryan. Trying to corral it his home break. He finally comes away with it. And we're back to 6-on-6. Here come the Falcons. Let's see if they can get a clear here. We approach the 2-minute mark. It's 5-2 La Jolla leads. Here comes Gomez, who just scored moments ago, looking for more. Shot, beautiful save is made. Rebound shot, hits the pipe, and pops out. Oh yeah, that's going to be obvious holding penalty. Shot, save, whistle stopped. 1:48 to go. Boy, all of a sudden the Falcon offense is woken up.
Yeah, you can see. I mean, they want to be aggressive. They don't want to be settled 6-on-6, 5-on-5. They're more of a team that's going to do it like that and just attack right away. And you can see right there. I mean, Tudor gets
30-second technical foul. Black, 4-7, hold.
So
Penalty gets called against Charlie.
they got a hold there, but Tudor gets free, has a great underneath move and just doesn't finish it. But I think you can see there that Scripps is getting aggressive.
Definitely look for number 1, Tudor, here on the man up. He hasn't scored yet, but he's got to be chomping at the bit right now. Would love to see his team get within a pair of goals here late in the first half. We're down to 1:28 to go. Shot kind of whiffed on it. Gomez had it, lost it. Who wants to come away with it? It's the long pole. Good job by Nate Ryan. He'll feed to Tyler Cook. Do we have a timeout? Infraction called against La Jolla. What was the call there, Coach?
I'm not sure. I was looking. Either team had a timeout, so I don't know if I didn't see what happened, but maybe one of the coaches tried to call a timeout there and change possession.
Shot, score! That's exactly what was needed by the Scripps Ranch team. It's Paul Zajac with his 9th goal of the season. We have a 5-3 game with 52 seconds to play in the first half.
Yeah, and you can see the bench was screaming for 12. He was wide open. No one was covering him. He steps in, pretty much the same shot as Gomez took. Off stick side, right by the ankle. That's a tough one to stop.
Now the key is if you're Scripps Ranch, then that you have this momentum, you want to win this face-off.
That's a big face-off.
And they lose it. And here comes Tanner Watson. Off to Ryan. Ryan to Watson. Shot! And the save is made. No, it's wide. Excuse me. And they get it to the win. That was a dangerous pass. Here comes the clear. It's Thomas McCallum. Shot on the way. Score! Just like that, we've got a 1-goal game. And all of a sudden, the Falcons have erupted. It's Matt Weedman with his 4th goal of the game of the season and his 3rd of the playoffs.
And you see here, great play by 10, McCollum, and he beats the long pole, makes the pass, and great shot. Stick side, I think, because of the last couple shots, it looked like Wilson was shading low, and he caught him over his shoulder.
3 goals in the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds for the Falcons. Makes it a 1-goal game, 5-4. And they are looking for the equalizer here in the waning moments of this first half. Here comes Gomez. Gomez working his way downfield. Trying to set up. Shot on the way, and it's going to go just wide. Off the attempt by Weedman, who was looking for his 2nd goal. We've got 2 seconds to go. Shot wide, and that'll reach halftime. Well, it was 5-1 at one point in La Jolla, and then goals by Gomez, Zajac, and Weedman. We've reached halftime with a 5-4 score. Your thoughts, Coach, on the first half of play?
Well, I think Scripps is, now this game's turning the way they want it to turn, which is more of a track meet and mostly transition. They don't want to play 6-on-6. And, you can see the outburst it has had offensively, and that's their best when they're playing that way. On the other end, I feel like La Jolla had the opportunity to put maybe Scripps away and go up 6-1. They came down on a fast break. They took a really ill-advised shot right in the goalie's stick, and then after that, Scripps goes on a 4 or 5 goal run. That's how it works in this sport.
Well, we've reached halftime, an exciting first half of play. Vikings 5, Falcons 4. You're watching the Division I Championships. San Diego High School lacrosse action right here on tvxvideo.com. Second half action when we return. Well, we're at halftime. It's a one-goal game. La Jolla 5, Scripps Ranch 4. But it was the Falcons that reeled off the last 3 goals of the first half. And our very own Ted Bendrick is down below with Nick Cowden.
Yeah, this is Ted Bendrick down here on the sideline with Coach Nick Cowden of the Scripps Ranch Falcons, and we had a real exciting finish there to the first half. So, what are your thoughts going into halftime?
I feel good after that late run there in the first half. Came out a little bit slow, but had a good run there. Hopefully, keep the momentum going into the second half.
Excellent.
Yep.
Good luck, Coach. I know you need to get down there and talk.
Good job, Ted. So talking with Nick Cowden, they get themselves on a roll. It's a one-goal game. We'll come back in about 2 minutes up to recap the first half. You're watching the Division I Lacrosse Championships on tvxvideo.com. Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Oh, score! We've got a one-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the third.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell, and you wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
Are we running commercials right now? Let me see if I can get the coach, okay?
Well, thanks for joining us. We're 2.5 minutes away from the beginning of the second half. La Jolla leads by the count of 5-4, and our very own Ted Bendrick is down low with Viking head coach Tom Dorr.
Hey, this is Ted Bendrick down on the sideline with Coach Tom Dorr over at the La Jolla Vikings here. We just finished in a really exciting second half there, Tommy. What are your thoughts?
I think, we went up 5-1 and we just got comfortable. Stopped taking care of the ball on offense, and they capitalized on us. We didn't release the guy, that man up, and they capitalized on it, and then just some mental breakdowns, and we got comfortable. That was pretty much it. So we just need to come out 1 quarter at a time here and 0-0.
So that's the game plan for just come back out here. We're starting over.
Yeah, 1 quarter at a time, start over, win these next 2, stay calm. It's going to be an up and down game, but one thing, don't get comfortable. That's one thing.
Tom, thank you. I know you're busy. That's Ted. So we got that quick. He's got to get back. Take care.
Good job there, Ted, the man on the spot with the interviews. I never thought I'd see Tim Bendrick on camera, but he was able to pull it off. Mark and the coach DeMaio here. We're at halftime, 5-4 your score, and kind of recap the scoring in the first quarter. The Vikings got on the scoreboard first, Walsh at the 10:45 mark. Then Pond bounced back for Scripps Ranch to make it 1-1. But then the Vikings would score 4 consecutive goals. Wintringer with a pair, Walsh with a pair, and by the way, he now has a hat trick at 5-1. But then the Falcons would come to life, and they would score 3 goals in the span of 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Gomez is 18th, Zajak's 9th, Weidman is 4th. We go into halftime with a 5-4 score. And we're moments away from the start of the second half. So, Coach, anything surprise you about the first half of this one?
No, I mean, not really. I think we knew it would be a pretty close game. I think it's just like we were talking about. La Jolla was pretty well balanced. They just had a really bad 5 minutes, and it may have been sparked by that I think it was a timeout that Coach Cowden had, and he was screaming at his players to get discipline and get focused, and since then they went on a run. But I do think in the second half, Scripps has to find a way to stop 18 Walsh. He's had a couple really easy get underneath inside roll type goals.
Well, with them, all their goals have come from 2 guys. Walsh with 3, Wintringer with 2. You want them to continue, but you want to see other guys step up. Turnover, and the ball will go to the Falcons. So they had that momentum at the end of the first half, and now they get this early possession here in the third.
Well, these games are won and lost in the third quarter is how us coaches look at it. And so this is going to be a real big next 11 minutes and 40 seconds.
So let's see what the Falcons can do. A year ago, their season ended against you guys. You knocked them out in the semis, 9-8.
Yeah, we had a great game at home, 1-goal game where we had a 3-goal lead late, and Scripps, they did the same thing that you just saw in the last 5 minutes, and they made it really close.
Shot hits the goalpost. I think that's the third shot that we've had in this game that has hit the goalpost.
Yes, Scripps is in this whole rush. They've hit the post 3 times.
Yep, and that was Josh Gomez with the last shot on goal.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Gomez shooting the ball a little bit more. I think Tudor's getting all the attention, and you can see the way he shot. He's hit 2 posts, and he scored that goal from deep. I think he's a guy that they want to free up off ball and let him rip.
Opportunity, working their way behind the net. It's Taylor. He wears 23. Doesn't have anything, and that brings it up top. There's Gomez, the man you were talking about. Trying to operate, but boy, he sure drew a lot of attention. That shot is going to go high and wide.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity there. 12 sort of dropped his stick and put it over the net. If he fundamentally shot that low, that's probably a goal.
That was
a great opportunity.
And he had one of those goals in that second quarter run for the Falcons. Whiffing on it. And easily scooped up by Mogi Watson. One thing La Jolla has done well, they have cleared well in this game.
Yeah, they have. They do a good job bringing their middies out and coming down and helping out and not forcing the long poles to clear it. And Scripps has let that guy catch it down underneath and run it out pretty easily.
Yep, and this time it was Tyler Cook who did that. Off to Tanner Watson. Up top to Caven Walsh. Walsh has had a real good game with 3 goals and a hat trick. So number 4 is definitely feeling it here today. Shot on the way. It's going to go just wide off the shot attempt by Bonebreak. Talk about as an attack midi guy when you kind of get into the zone with your shots on goal.
Yeah, I mean, some guys shoot better time and room. Some guys shoot better on the run, but these guys, when you see guys hitting the spot shooting, you want to keep going back to them.
And Walsh is with it right now.
Yeah, they got a short stick matchup behind an invert, and Walsh will look to draw and dump right here.
Poor pass. It's going to get scooped up, however, by Tanner Watson right by the midfielder. And gets pushed across the line.
That's an over and back. That's a tough mistake there by La Jolla.
Yep, Tanner, usually you won't see those mistakes from him. He's going to be playing at Arizona State next year. Sun Devils always with a good MCLA program.
Yeah, my guess is Tanner sort of lost track where he was on the field and took the push a little bit and didn't resist it. That's an uncommon mistake for him.
Gomez up top for Scripps Ranch. We have approached the 8.5-minute mark here in quarter 3. Still waiting for the first goal of the second half to be scored. Will it be the Falcons tying it up, or will the Vikings take a 2-goal lead? Still remains to be seen. Gomez behind the cage. Good ball movement. Shot on the way, and the save is made. Nice shot attempt there by Sean Powers. Good job by Watson between the pipes. And see how quickly they clear off to Nate Ryan.
Yeah, it's a decent take by Tudor, but I think they could try to find something better there. But he's trying to make something happen. He wants to tie the game, and they have scored low a couple times on Mugi, so we'll see.
Ryan. Now behind the cage to Walsh. Off to Caven Walsh.
And I think if you're La Jolla here, you might want to go back to Walsh at X. He hasn't really been stopped when he's went to the net.
And that pass is picked off. Good defense by the Falcons. Great job by the Longhorns. Stuart Pond. Poor pass trying to set up his teammate. Good idea, but poor execution there. He was looking for Matt Weidman.
Yeah, looks like we have a tip there. Ball was tipped, so it's going to stay Scripps. Okay. That's a break for Scripps right there.
Yes, indeedy.
It's an errant pass that deflected off a La Jolla defender. That ball was probably going out of bounds either way.
Gomez gets stripped of the ball. Good play by Ryan. And here they come. And the clear is successful. Excuse me, that's actually Ethan Tomiko, number 14. Wholesale changes on the fly. Off to Cook. Shot on the way, so they go high and wide with possession kept. Boy, that was a good substitution, and Cook was in full throttle and put that one up.
Yeah, you love when your players do that, when they come out of the box and they just keep the play flowing and hit that hole hard. That was a good scoring opportunity generated by Cook.
And Cook with it right now. He and Watson on top of that offense. Cook looking for an opening. Shot, and the save is made nicely by the Falcons just in the win. Both goalies have been solid today.
Yeah, we've seen good goaltending all day here. No real soft goals.
Yep. second goal of the game. We're tied at 5 with 5:32 to go here in the third.
You know, when I said there were no soft goals, I might have spoke a little early. I think that's one that moved the leg back. And I think I don't know, he lost it in the sun or just got changed up on it. But that ball seemed to be like a change up in. So that's a big goal.
How often do we see this? Pond, first goal of the game for La Jolla, and now for Scripps Ranch, and then he scores the first goal for the Falcons in the second half. He's got two. Not very often you see a long pole with 2 goals in a game.
It is extremely rare, and especially if it's a long pole that doesn't tend to score too often.
But he's a long pole who's also a good face-off man.
What is that?
Here comes Pond again. This time he gets stripped of it. He'll get picked up by Finn Walsh. Walsh into the attack. Vikings would love to get back on the scoreboard. That 4-goal lead seems like a long time ago now that we're all tied at 5.
It's been, 4 goals unanswered, and that's sort of Scripps style. They get on rolls, so I think La Jolla they really need to get back on the board here.
4:50 to go here in the third quarter. Should the Falcons win, has there ever been a team that won CIF in San Diego County with a 500 record?
That I don't know, but I will say in the Division I bracket.
Shot and score for La Jolla. Ousterhout, 6-5 Vikings. Take a look on the TDX video replay.
He was pretty aggressive going to the net. Defender rolled off him, really allowed up an easy scoring opportunity. Again, a good bounce shot.
And actually, my correction, that's Pat Ryan with the goal, and it comes at the 4:23 mark, and the Vikings go up 6-5.
Yeah, and it looks like Scripps got a penalty at the end of that play. It'll be dead ball. So now La Jolla starts man up here with the ball, no face off, and that could really hurt Scripps.
So Ryan with the goal at 4:23, 6-5, up by one of the Vikings, and now they've got a man up. Wow. Who do you look for here, Coach?
I think they had some success on the left side there with the left-handed attackman, number 9, and they also had some success inside, man up with 18, Walsh. And I think they're going to look into Walsh again.
That shot's going to be a save off the attempt by Tanner Watson, and a good job by Justin to win once again.
Yeah, that's a sort of an ill-advised shot. I think Coach Stewart would like that one back.
Here comes Pond for the Falcons. I'll tell you what, for a guy who's a long pole, he handles the ball awfully well.
He's done a really good job today handling the ball, and obviously with his 2 goals. And sometimes your offense is struggling. You need that. You need someone to give you that extra offense from a long pole position.
Yeah, they're awaiting the eruption of Joey Tudor, who's been held scoreless here today.
Looks like Scripps is short a guy right now.
That's about to end, though.
Yeah, they only had 4 on the field, and now they got all 6 on, so they're back 6-on-6. They killed the penalty.
Yep. Gomez. You know he wants to put one up. But good ride defensively by Charlie Coy. Gomez just being hounded now every time he touches the ball. Unfortunately, Coy couldn't keep it in play. And possession will be kept by the Falcons. 2:49 to go here in the third quarter. 6-5, La Jolla leads. Shot, score! That was a no-doubter. We are all tied at 6. Ethan Taylor with his first goal of the game and his 16th of the season.
Yeah, what you'll see here is sort of a 2-man game from the corner right off the restart. He does a good job getting underneath this guy. There's no slide coming. Left-handed finish coming around. So that was a heads-up play going right off the restart. And that's what really delayed the slide.
Yapon, the only guy with 2 goals for Scripps Ranch, and then Gomez, Zajac, Weidman, and Taylor all with 1 apiece. And here come the Vikings. They win the face-off, and they have possession as we approach 2.5 minutes to go here in quarter 3. Shot on the way, not much of an attempt there by Cook, and Wynn registers another save.
Yeah, he's seeing the ball pretty well. But I will say, these shots, they're not making the goalie move, and throwing it right into his stick. So I think La Jolla needs to pick some better shots.
Some pressure there. Good job by Tanner Watson to cause the turnover. And the Vikings with another opportunity here in a 6-6 game. Working it around. At one point, we thought La Jolla might run away with this when they were up 5-1, but boy, Scripps Ranch has come back and answered. Behind the cage, good ball movement, good patience by the Vikings. Shot, score! Pat Ryan, his second goal of the game. 7-6, La Jolla leads.
Yeah, he's had 2 huge goals. He's put La Jolla on the board. You can see he sweeps across, gets his hands wound up, and get a good overhand bounce shot. And that seems to be the key. When La Jolla shoots the ball well, they're scoring. When they're shooting the ball high and in the goalie's stick, they're having some problems.
I'll tell you what, Randall, George, Christian, and Josh are getting all these fantastic shots that you're watching here today on TVX Video's coverage of San Diego High School Lacrosse Championships. Winning the face-off is La Jolla, right? You score a goal, you win the face-off, you get that momentum.
All right, shoot, here we go, baby.
What I like about the Vikings in general, they don't force it. They it's like, all right, if we don't have it, let's just bring it back up top and work it around again.
Yeah, they've been patient. The shooting's been their Achilles heel, but they haven't really had a lot of forces to the crease or any really turnovers that have hurt them in that regards.
Yep, here comes Ryan. He's feeling it right now. He has scored their last 2 goals. They'll give way to David Walsh. Scramble for the ground.
They're off in transition.
Yep. Here comes Scripps Ranch. Let's see what they can do. Good clear. Shot on the way by Tudor. It just goes wide. Joey was looking for his first goal, and that'll wrap up 3/4 of play from San Marcos High School. We've got a good one. La Jolla 7, Scripps Ranch 6. 4th quarter action when we return.
San Diego Area School Board Association, Friends of Golf, Wings of Entertainment, and some rural
you can tell the Falcons are jacked up for the fourth quarter as you were hearing head coach Nick Cowden talk to his team. The scoring in the third, we were at 5-4 at halftime. It got tied at 5 by Scripps Ranch. Pond with his second goal of the game. Then Ryan would score for La Jolla to make it 6-5 at the 4:23 mark. Taylor scores at the 2:42 mark to tie it at 6. And then Ryan with his second goal of the quarter at the 1:25 mark. The Vikings 7, Falcons 6. 12 minutes remain. What are you looking for here in the fourth as we put on our seatbelts?
Well, you could see it in that final 10 seconds. You're going to see urgency from Scripps. They feel like they've been down the whole game, and they want to get up on La Jolla. And you can see how they move the ball down the field, and they missed by just a foot or so on the shot. And I think you're going to see two different sets here, where La Jolla is going to be a little slower to go to the net than they have been all game, and you're going to see more urgency from Scripps.
And you have to remember, Scripps Ranch has tied it twice, but they have never had the lead here today. So if they can find a way to get that first lead in the fourth quarter, right? It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah,
cliche number 22.
And I'm thinking back to last year in this game when we were in the fourth quarter. It was 6-5, and the score never changed. And we held the ball a lot and slowed the game down. And San Marcos showed a ton of aggressiveness going to the net when they had it, but. There's two ways you can handle this. You can kill it or you can be real aggressive.
Walsh to Gomez. His shot goes wide. That was a good attempt right there, and they will keep possession.
Yeah, it's a good take there by the lefty attackman. Wintringer hits the post.
And possession will be kept. It's Caven Walsh behind the cage. Looking to operate one-on-one, seeing if he can find someone. Wintringer kicks it up top. They'll swing it left side off to Bowbreak. Now back behind the cage once again to Finn Walsh. Finn gives way to Wintringer. Right now they don't appear to be in any rush.
Yeah, and that's, like I was saying, I think you're going to see a lot of that this quarter.
So
they'll be working the substitutions and they'll be slowing it down and then they could potentially, the refs are looking at this right now as they want to see La Jolla go to the net.
Walsh trying to use a pick from his brother. Off to Wintringer. His shot, a beautiful save made by Justin DeWitt. Boy, the Wind's made some pretty saves, and that one's up there with him.
Yeah, it's a good save, and they needed it. So another good take by the lefty attackman.
Attempted clear. Can they save it? They cannot. That's a Falcon turnover, and the ball will go right back to the Vikings with 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Can La Jolla win back-to-back division championships, or does Scripps Ranch come and break up the party?
Well, we talk about experience in this situation. La Jolla was here last year. They had a lead over Del Norte, and they did a pretty good job, closing the game out, not letting it be close. So they know how to do this in this environment.
Been here before. Cook. Scramble for that loose ball. Picked up by Cook, and the shot's going to go just wide with possession to be kept. Good opportunity there by Tyler Cook.
Yeah, it was. It was a good opportunity and probably a smart shot because he had it in his right hand. He didn't have a big angle, so he was either going to go in or keep possession.
Here comes Cook, who just took that shot moments ago. Substitution on the fly. Hudson Liu into the match wears number 15 off to Wintringer.
And again, you can see the pace. La Jolla slowed down the pace. Trying to go as long as they can without getting the keep it in call from the refs.
Yeah, part of it also could be because remember it's still warmer. That could have something to do with it. Players could maybe be feeling fatigued, and there's a turnover by La Jolla. I think the guys are drained at this point, Coach?
I don't necessarily think so. I think both teams have had some good settled time on offense. I mean, they don't play a lot of guys. There's a few guys that I'm sure are feeling it. But, I think when you get into 8 minutes left in the last game of the season, you find a way to dig deep. And
timeout call. 8 minutes to go. 7-6. La Jolla leads Scripps Ranch. You're watching the CIF San Diego Section Lacrosse Finals on TVX Sports. If you're enjoying the action, go ahead and give us a thumbs up.
That was a big face-off right there. Scripps needed it.
Barnes works behind the cage and working around. It's Blake Smith.
So Tudor has a short stick here. They're going to want to use this matchup.
Nothing doing there as Sean Powers was looking for an opening. Nothing doing there on the attempt by Smith. Now the Vikings attempting to clear. However, great job by the Falcons to get the ball back.
Great ride there by Scripps.
Yep.
You can tell they're really bearing down and playing with some urgency.
4:59 remains to play here in regulation in an 8-7 La Jolla lead. All of a sudden, Tudor almost coming to a standstill.
Yeah, he's been on the field the whole game. He's got to be feeling it.
Yep.
And you can see he has a short stick, but they have a slide waiting for him, so they're going to choose to go somewhere else with it.
And Tudor has felt everything except the goal here this afternoon. And we mentioned he scored 6 in the semifinal victory against Mount Carmel.
Yeah, I think certainly he's going to be the initiator here.
Here comes Tudor. We'll see how quickly he draws attention. Behind the cage. 4 minutes to go here in the fourth. Good job by Gomez to re-corral and keep possession. Off to Zajac. Shot. Gonna go just wide off the attempt by Blake Smith. And the clear by Moogie Watson.
Pretty good offensive set for Scripps. They couldn't ask for anything better than that. They didn't complete it.
Yep, here comes Wintringer. He's had a good game today. Both goals came back in quarter number 1.
An interesting.
And a timeout call.
Nope, out of bounds.
Oh my. It's tough to kind of see that line where that out of bounds line is because the end zone is blue and the line is white. Also a little bit of shade starting to come on the field on the Scripps Ranch end. A scrum at the 45. Timeout. La Jolla. 2:58 remains to play in the Division I championship with your score. La Jolla 8 and Scripps Ranch 7.
Yeah, that's a great timeout by Coach. I think both coaches were dying to use their timeout if they just could have got it in their stick. And second it was in his stick. Coach Tom just called it right away, and that's a big possession.
TVX Sports is proud to bring you the best in San Diego and Southern California local sports. If you want to see more live games, if you want to see more game recaps and highlights, give us a like and click that subscribe button. Well, 2:48 to go. We know a lot of people are tuning into this a close one of a game, Coach, here in Division 1. Division 2 is a close one. We've got the same here in Division 1. And we're going to expect nothing less in the open division game between Coronado and La Costa Canyon.
These, as always, these are great games. These are great games for the kids to play in, and they do a pretty good job in San Diego matching the teams up, in the brackets that these become pretty competitive games. So we're seeing another great one here. I know 8-7 with three minutes to go is a pretty good opportunity for both teams.
What goes through the process as they decide what division level each team will play in the playoffs each year?
What they do is they take the top 8 teams out of laxpower.com, which is a rating system. It's not CIF. It's something totally separate. And those 8 teams advance into the open bracket, which will be the next game. And then really the rest of the teams are broken up between Division 2 and 1. And so they form out their own brackets.
Thank you for that breakdown, Coach DeMeo.
And it's a good system. You can see the teams are pretty well matched.
And we are back to action with 2:57 remaining. Let's see what the Vikings can do right here. Trying to get an offensive set. It's Coy with it. And he does a good job to get it off to Pat Ryan. Ryan with a couple of goals today, both coming in the third quarter. Right now, if you're La Jolla, you have that 1-goal lead. You're in the driver's seat, so you want to really look for a good shot, and at the same time, you don't mind taking that time off clock.
Well, you're in a situation, you're going to have a keep-it-in situation in 20 seconds anyway, so, my thought would be that you just hold the ball until they start to come at you.
Walsh looked for a bone break, but it went over his head out of bounds. Scripps
Boy,
ran down with a chance to tie it, and here comes Josh Gomez. Gomez, you can tell he wants to shoot, working his way behind the cage. Doesn't have it. Wisely brings it to Blake Smith, and now up top to Andrew Barnes. 1:53 remains here in the fourth quarter in a 1-goal game. Tudor. Gomez goes wide. Oh boy. Gomez would love to have that one back. He was wide open, Coach.
Yeah, that's, if I'm Scripps, I'm going back to that. I think, Joey's drawing the double, and Gomez is shooting really well. And I think if you can get him free like that, that can be your offense for the next couple plays.
Right back to Tudor. Usually the goal scorer has had to have been more of a facilitator today, as they have really double-teamed him throughout. Tudor. You see every time he tries to slide, there's someone waiting for him. Shot wide. Tudor found a way to get open, but unable to score with 1:09 to go.
Yeah, fundamentals, and that's the first thing I would tell Tudor after the game.
Timeout.
Joe makes a great move, gets underneath this guy, and if he delivers it sidearm, which so many of these kids do these days, and fundamentally your opportunity to score is just less. But I'm sure he'll get the ball back and get another chance at that one.
1:07 remains to play here in the fourth in a 1-goal game, and boy, it's been exciting. The scoring in the fourth quarter. Bone break made it an 8-6 game at the 6:06 mark, and then 13 seconds later, Gomez with his 19th to make it an 8-7 game, which is where we stand as you look at this game. Who have been some of the players that have stood out?
Well, obviously Tudor's getting a lot of attention. I think Gomez is stuck out with his shooting. He didn't hit that one, but still good overhand delivery and taking some good shots. He's had a couple goals. And then, on the La Jolla side, goaltending's been solid. They've cleared the ball well, but I still think those early goals from Walsh, 18, where he just kind of bowled through the attackman, inside rolled and scored. I think those are still affecting the offense in general because they got to slide really early to them. So those guys have stood out.
So coming out of a timeout, 1:07 to go in a 1-goal game. All you ask as a coach is the opportunity to win, and that opportunity has presented itself on both sidelines.
Yeah, and Scripps just wants to tie it up and maybe get this thing into overtime, and they've had that opportunity with two really high percentage shots in this last possession, so they're hoping to get another one.
So Scripps Ranch with possession as we come out of the timeout with 1:07 to play. Tudor moments ago put a shot right where he wanted it, except finding the back of the net. Tudor, as you see, as soon as he gets to that ball, he's got two guys on him defensively.
Yeah, Blackburn's covering Tudor here, so.
Yep, might want to look for Gomez. Once again, every time, Tudor just can't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's a smart thing for him right there.
That might have just cost them a shot at the championship with 33 seconds to play.
Yeah, well, the way Scripps has been riding the ball, they may get it back, but certainly an unforced error that Scripps would like to have back.
So if the Vikings can clear it, that might do it.
Well, huge advantage right here if a coach has a timeout to burn. So I think you see any type of problem when the ball's in the stick, he'll be calling a timeout.
Timeout. 23 seconds to play. 8-7 your score. La Jolla by 1. So La Jolla has led throughout. We have had La Jolla start off with a 1-0 lead. Scripps Ranch tied it at 1-all. La Jolla goes up 5-1, but then Scripps Ranch scores 4 straight to make it 5-5. La Jolla goes up 6-5. Scripps Ranch ties it at 6. And then a couple of goals by La Jolla to take the 2-goal lead, and then moments ago the 1 goal. So we've had 3 ties in this game, but the Falcons have never been able to get over the hump.
Yeah, that's probably a result of those 80 goals we talked about that aren't in the lineup. I think they've done a great job battling and staying in the game and coming back when they were down, and that's never easy, and it could have went a couple different ways. But La Jolla from the beginning has been balanced and played a solid game, but just hasn't been able to put Scripps away. And Scripps has answered the bell every time La Jolla got a goal that you thought was going to make this game go the other way. So I give both teams credit in this. And right now it just looks like, with the position that La Jolla is in, they got to make a pretty big mistake for them to lose this game. But their overtime game against Westview, and I'm sure they're thinking about that. They had the ball with less than 10 seconds left and a 1-goal lead, and actually man up, and that ended up in overtime. So I'm sure Coach Dewar isn't taking this lightly.
And the Vikings trying to overcome adversity, playing without 7 players who are out injured. Not much depth, but boy, they have come and they have played today. As we're back to action in the waning moments, it's Caven Walsh. Walsh behind the cage, draws a double team. We're down to 12 seconds. Goalie out of the goal. So there's an open goal right now. Walsh down to 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and the La Jolla Vikings have won back-to-back CIF championships as they hold off Scripps Ranch by the final of 8-7 with the win. La Jolla 12-10 on the year. With the loss, Scripps Ranch 9-11.
Yeah, it's 2 in a row for Coach Dewar. I know last year I was walking out in the field and they were doing the same thing. So congratulations to them, and congratulations to Scripps, who had an amazing game and a good run in the playoffs after an up and down season.
So the scoring leaders: Walsh had 3 goals for La Jolla. Wintrinker, he had 2. Ryan, he had 2. Those guys were basically the offense. Bone Break had 1. However, give credit to Scripps Ranch. They really hung in there. They really distributed the ball offensively. Goals from Pont had 2, and then Gomez, Zajac, Weidman, Taylor had 1. Gomez had 2 as well. But this was a close game throughout. 2 teams that play in the same league during the year. They've played 3 times, but none sweeter than this victory by La Jolla to cap off the CIF championship.
Yeah, and I think in the future, La Jolla is one of those teams. It could be in the Open Division next year. So they've sort of done their thing, and that's their first D1 championship, I believe. And they're going to be around for a while. They got a good team, good coaching staff. Same with Scripps. I think Scripps, they generate some good players, and they were young this year. So both teams will be back.
Yep, and as we mentioned, these teams, they've played each other so many times over the years, and they have really set up a nice rivalry. To me, on this division level, this rivalry is kind of the equivalent of like a Torrey Pines Poway or a Torrey Pines La Costa Canyon.
Yeah, guys who play each other during the season, they beat each other up, they don't like each other. And, I think we've seen that with both games today so far. And this will be... this next game is the first game that will be teams that have only played once during the season. So, this is one of those grudge match type games and La Jolla came out on top. And it does not surprise me it was a 1-goal game. I actually predicted overtime in my podcast this week, and my buddy Christian Pedersen, he predicted 1-goal game, so he was right for once.
Well, it came awfully close to that. So the final score, La Jolla 8, Scripps ran 7, and they are the Division I champions. The producer and technical director of TVX Video is Luis Rivera. Director is Andrew Lito. On camera, Randall, George, Christian, and Josh. Our sideline reporter, Ted Bendrick. Along with the coach, DeMeo. I'm Mark Keller, saying so long from San Marcos High School. The La Jolla Vikings, for the second year in a row, they are CIF champions. We'll see you again in about 50 minutes. The nightcap, the Open Division, the Coronado Islanders taking on the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. So until 50 minutes from now, so long and good day from San Marcos High School in San Marcos, California. Cavs come away with it, and it's Conrad. And a flag flies. Should be man-up opportunity coming up here for Virginia. And they're deadly there. Oh! We've got a 1-goal game. It's 11-10 with 2:13 to go here in the third.
Yeah, you wonder about the energy level of Cornell. You wonder if Coach Kerwick wants to take a timeout, kind of let them get a breather, because when you have to play this tempo for 60 minutes, guys are going to start to get tired. You're going to start putting guys in that might not have kind of logged the minutes that you would want them to log before going into a game like this.
Coach Nick Calloway,